This is Tony Jeffries and you're watching Sporting Icons.
So I was asked a question a few days ago on Twitter, which is it possible that what appears to be an indentation in the side of Deontay Wilder's head, is it possible that it's caused by JD's using the end swell? Now, I'm not a cut man, okay, so I don't really know too much about these things. I know that these end swells, they come in like different shapes and sizes. They're either circular or they're like rectangle form. They're not expensive. You can pick them up brand new from anywhere from £10 up to a British Boxing Board of Control kit for about £55. Okay, so they're not really expensive. In fact, some trainers, cut men, have their own brand of it, like Stitch Duran. Stitch Duran, he uses his own brand. And he used that with Tyson Fury when he was in the corner of Tyson Fury for the Deontay Wilder rematch. Now, with the end swell, it's just a piece of iron with like a hook on the back to support where the fingers are so you don't drop it. And it's kept over ice. And it's designed where you put it over swelling. So it restricts the blood and the fluid buildup. Okay, so is it possible that an end swell could do that on the skull? If that is an indentation on the skull where his temple is, I personally would probably say no, because JD would have to put on a hell of a lot of pressure and Wilder's skull must be pretty soft in order for an end swell to get that kind of indentation on the skull. But in my opinion, and it is just an opinion, I said I'm not an expert, if there's swelling there, which it does appear that there was, because obviously it's the same side of where Deontay Wilder had blood coming out of his ear. So anybody who's had earache or toothache, that kind of thing, you do get swelling on the side of your face, and had he used the end swell incorrectly, then it's possible that he created the indentation where the swelling is, not on the bone itself, but the swelling. So it's the shape, and it does kind of look like the shape, doesn't it? It's like a straight edged. If that's where the swelling was, and he used that and didn't use it correctly, it's possible that it would look that way because of the swelling around the edge of where the end swell was. Okay, imagine putting your finger into a sponge. Momentarily, you're going to see the indentation, aren't you? That's pretty much what it is that I'm trying to say. Because if you look after the fight, when Wilder was on the mic, it didn't appear to be that bad, did it? And if there was some kind of indentation on the skull, did Wilder have surgery on it? Because he was cleared to fight, wasn't he? He was cleared to fight for the original rematch day of July. So it's a pretty quick turnaround for one place where you really need to be okay, which is the skull and that, isn't it? It's very dangerous. And of course, around the temple area as well. So anyway, point is, I don't really know the answer, but I know plenty of people who would know the answer. Plenty of people who do use the end swells, who have used them and have had them used on themselves, such as Tony Jeffries, such as Mark Clauzel, Nik Gittus, Dominic Ingle, Ben Davidson, Mark Tibbs, Dave Coldwell, Dean White, Spencer Fearon, and so forth. Asked many people their thoughts on it. And listen, I'm not going to tell you exactly specifically who said what, where, and when. And a couple of people that haven't responded yet, so I'll probably get them on a podcast if possible, and they can give their full explanation for it, because obviously some just dropped me a voicemail, some just dropped me like a text message back and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so if anybody wants to come on, they're very welcome. But at the end of the day, nobody came back to me and said, yeah, it's the end swell. They believe it's the end swell. In fact, I did get some responses which are along the lines of, one of them believed that it's a broken jaw. Now, I'm not going to say who said what, where, and when, because we know that in this day and age, what, you said this? And then just go on there and just start harassing them on social media, trolling them. So I'm not going to say who said what, where, and when, even though a couple of them did say, if you want, you can say that I said this if you want. But a broken jaw was one of them. And one of them who said that to me was, he said that when he watched the fight live, he thought, oh, Wilder's jaw looks like he's broken here. So with the picture that I sent him, which of course is the one that you guys see on your screen right now, he said that pretty much confirms to him it's a broken jaw. He's been around broken jaws and that before, and very similar to that. So there's a little food for thought that potentially it's a broken jaw. Other ones, and it does appear to be the main one where people do say, it does appear that it's possible that Tyson Fury is a true heavyweight. He's 6'9", 270 odd pounds, and he was aggressive in that fight. So he was coming forward and throwing punches with intent. And by the way, none of them believe that Fury had something in his gloves. Not one of them believed that. In fact, Tony Jeffries, he knows Tyson Fury personally, and he knows Deontay Wilder personally. And he likes both of them. But he doesn't believe that Fury had something in his gloves. Okay? I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is that he said, but the point is, nobody believes that Fury had something in his gloves. In fact, most of them did say, in this day and age, it's virtually impossible for that to have happened, especially with the Nevada State Athletic Commission, especially with the WBC being there as well, especially with JD's, Deontay Wilder's manager trainer, overseeing the wrapping of the gloves, the wrapping of the hands and the gloves being put on and then taped up, all that kind of stuff. So it's virtually impossible for that to have happened. But most say that it's just a freak injury. It's possible it's just a freak injury where Wilder just got hit with full force from a 6'9", 270 odd pound man who's throwing punches with intent, compared to what Fury would usually do in a fight, which is fight on the back foot. When you fight on the back foot, the punches that he's throwing don't have too much intent, because effectively he's keeping his opponent away and scoring points. But when you're the aggressor and you go forward, that's when injuries are going to happen, isn't it? That's when you're going to feel how much power Tyson Fury really has. So it's possible that, again, especially in the position where it does look like it's the temple area, which of course is quite a soft area, it's just a freak injury where Tyson Fury does hit really, really hard. Maybe Wilder has a soft skull for whatever reason. It's like Dominic Ingle. He said to me, he says, when Kell Brook, when he got his bone chipped, was it his orbital bone or something like that? When he got that chipped by Triple G, and then the next fight, it happened with the other eye with Errol Spence. People were saying to Dominic Ingle, well, maybe these guys had something in their gloves. So he checked the wraps and he checked the gloves, because these things, they are available to them. So Wilder's team, if they really wanted to, they can get the gloves and the wraps, okay? But Dominic Ingle said that when he checked, there was nothing wrong with them. There wasn't any kind of evidence of tampering or anything like that. So these things just happen. And these kind of things happen many, many times. It's just that they don't really hit the headlines. And if Wilder had some kind of surgery, because it literally was on the skull, well, where's the medical report for it? Why was it that he was cleared to fight in the original date of July? And then, of course, in September, and Wilder only ever really spoke about in the beginning the fact that he had some kind of surgery, was on his bicep, I think he said. But he didn't say nothing about surgery on his head, which is the one place where you do need protection, isn't there? But the point is, as far as the end swell is concerned, nobody said to me, yeah, I think it's the end swell. Nobody said that to me. But most do believe it's just one of those things. It's caused by legitimate punches from a huge, huge man. It can happen. Anyway, that's their thoughts. That's my thoughts as well. You drop me yours. Click a thumbs up. Subscribe. Catch you all in the next video.